Oh my God.
Charlie Kirk being accidentally based.
I gotta say, like, I'm surprised that Buttigieg has made them. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but Buttigieg being gay is a big fixation for them.
Yes.
Bigger than I expected.
I mean, it is. It is a way for them, to assert so many things without really having to articulate them.
I'm used to going after them going after non-white women, but
right, exactly. But here's Charlie Kirk. There's been a huge problem, ladies and gentlemen, because Pete Buttigieg took parental leave to spend time with his new twins, that he and his husband have adopted.
And I've been having health issues.
And Pete Buttigieg also, not only is he gay, but he's talking about history that involves racism, which of course is gross.
And also doubly gay.
And, well, he's married to someone. So here is Charlie Kirk weighing in on this.
The country, being an American, 15% of millennials say they are proud to be an American.
Wait.
15%.
Pause it 1 second. We've got to.
He should not be a hat guy. Doesn't look good.
I need to go hat shopping with Charlie.
This is a dude who's sort of like, who says to his producers, anything we got that can make me look like, like American, like a regular guy? I think they're selling hats down at the gift shop.
Trucker cap, too.
But do you have hats for my giant head?
Yeah.
This is like it feels like the first baseball hat he's ever worn.
It looks like one of those little hats that should have a propeller on top.
Exactly.
It's very Ashton Kutcher circa 2003, right? With the mesh in the back, the trucker cap.
This is the trucker cap. It goes way back before then. I get like when I played Little League, when I played Babe Ruth baseball in the 80s, that's the kind of cap we would have.
All right. Well, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not old, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you need that when you're out there playing baseball. You need that mesh.
He also needs that adjustable strap because God knows he's never met a fitted cap that likes him.
Here we go.
The country, being an American, 15% of millennials say they are proud to be an American. 15% say they are proud to be an American. As I mentioned, 1/3 of millennials describe themselves as being LGBTQ, 39%. 39%. It's 3 times the proportion identified among the combined older adults in the generation. This is the gayest generation in American history.
Nice.
And that's not a slur, by the way. It's not a slander. It's just the way it is.
Yes.
Someone's going to say, oh, that's a pejorative. They're the gayest generation in American history. It's what the study says.
Comment on it.
No, that's not what the study says. The study says they are the most willing to identify as being LGBTQ.
Because they're more in touch with their sexuality than you.
Or
society's better.
Or maybe they're not as worried about being beaten by the cops, being beaten by people in the neighborhood, being beaten by people in the city. They're not as afraid of being expelled from their homes. I mean, I think this is one of the things that is really hard to grasp. When I was Charlie Kirk's age, if you lived in and I'm sure there's plenty of this that still exists, but if you didn't live in really New York,
college towns, basically.
Yeah.
Even then, it was very, very difficult to identify as gay. I mean, just very, very difficult. Society it's
life-threatening.
It was life-threatening. The social stigma, it was very, very difficult.
We
Things
just
have
had an
changed
IMR
so
talk
dramatically.
about how in New York, a gay couple got in the pool and people started chanting A's and got people to get out
This
of the
is in
pool.
New York City.
New York City. Yeah. I mean, and also I just want to point out, like, you're right that yes, more people may be willing to come out and speak about that. But there's also a great education in why this young generation is so great is they are more willing to test the boundaries of spectrum sexuality. We are all on a spectrum, and social conditioning has allowed us to either experiment with those boundaries, and some people may be on the straight side, some people may be in the middle, some people may not even be on the spectrum actually, like they may be asexual or whatever. But society has allowed for people to push those boundaries and see other people experimenting and maybe, understanding that sexuality doesn't need to be connected to somebody's genitalia. You can be attracted to people in different ways, and you can test that out because we've allowed for this spectrum to be explored as a society. And I mean, like, I see that with my friends, and I see that with younger people.
I would be very surprised if the actual numbers are dramatically different than they were even 20 or 30 years ago, as much as it is, in those instances, the understanding of that was just so different. It was like, I had one incident in college and it didn't mean anything. I mean, it was really just a question of like,
or you push the thoughts away or never do it anything at all.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think that there's, and I would imagine that 40% number also represents, some measure of solidarity too. And sort of someone saying like, I'm not even sure I know what that means to, sort of have in some areas like that kind of delineation, which I guess is what you're saying on some level. But it really, to me, is just a question of acceptability amongst society, and it's changed so dramatically.
I mean, we've all seen this change within our lifetimes. Like, I remember like the 2000s and the whole anti-gay stuff with Bush. Like, that was when I realized, my parents are actually kind of cool, because like I'm saying like I think this is wrong, and they're saying this is kind of wrong, right? Like that sort of, but that had to be a conversation and a development.
I mean, you had the president of the United States going on national television and announcing that it's really bad, but we need to pass an amendment to make these people second-class citizens. Yeah. And that happened 17 years ago. Less than 17 years, more, 17 and a half years ago. And I love how Charlie Kirk is, this is Charlie Kirk shoring up his Nick Fuentes base. Yeah. It's not a slur. Really? It's not a slur?
No, actually.
Why did you feel obligated to say that?
Or like, why don't you continue talking and maybe comment on that fact that you shared?
Yeah. What do you think about that? Are you encouraged by that? Or we're just laying it out there in the context of 15% are pro-American, and it's the gayest culture ever.
I mean, we have more gay people than pro-American people, I guess, is the juxtaposition.
Well, that's exactly it, right?
Cool.
As he wears his stupid America hat.
Well, I'd like to see that hat changed to reflect where the society is headed. Let's make that baby a rainbow flag.
How did he get? We didn't even get to that. How did he get from 15% of people say that they're proud of America to this is the gayest?
He's reading off, I think, this poll that came out. I think that probably that YouGov Jacobin poll would be my guess.
And you know what? I would imagine, and I don't have the poll in front of me, that a lot of that, the overwhelming majority who say that they aren't proud of America are Trump supporters, his audience, who are like, I hate Joe Biden, and it's becoming X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, who knows?